the National Football League on EA Sports. Up next, we'll get a look at Patrick Mahomes. Solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Chiefs and the Bears, next on Madden NFL 24.
From one of the loudest venues in the National Football League, you get a look there at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their third-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Justin Fields.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. A man who led the league in yards per carry last year, it's Khalil Herbert. Down the right sideline, and he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A huge play there right off the bat. 44 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And this nearly an interception right off the bat. An early crisis averted as that winds up incomplete. The Bears at 2-0 here to begin the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Looking to throw on 2nd down, Fields. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the establish a far running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run with Herbert. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Santos' kick is up and through. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So here come the defending champs, led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, a 2-time winner now in Patrick Mahomes.
There's nothing the league's best quarterback didn't achieve last season. Super Bowl trophy? Check. MVP award? Check. League leader in yards and touchdowns? Check. How does he top the season he had last year? I don't know. But Patrick Mahomes, he usually finds a way.
Mahomes now on first down. And right away, he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Fighting to stay upright, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4. Well, last game he had 2 sacks, got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
4th down, so Kansas City sends out Tommy Townsend. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken in at the 22. And he'll be out right at the 35. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bears take over. We switch the attention now to Khalil Herbert as this offense comes out for their next drive. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. And I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And that's caught. inside the 30. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears add 6 to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by DJ Moore. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And taken right at the 35. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first of...
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. 10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now here's Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a fourth down.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. DJ Moore headed back out as the Bears take over on possession. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now,
and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 60 yards. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0.
17. Chiefs nothing. Cairo Santos to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Mahomes going to throw. Got a man, that's Richie James. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
18 more yards.
Now it's Mahomes again. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Richie James, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
And now it's blocked. This is going the other way. There he goes, left side. into the end zone, and that's 2 points. Well, I think there was a lot of surprise from the kicking team there. After the block, they kind of froze and then realized, oh, wait, they can return this, and they returned it all the way.
And you know why they froze? Not often do you get that second sound, right? There's the kick, you hear that, and then there's that second thud when there's a block. That's when people freeze and they have to realize where the ball is. They picked it up and took it the other way.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Hand off right side for Herbert. Oh, and now some space to operate. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Chicago. Khalil Herbert with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Bears offense staying put. Justin Fields always a threat to run. They'll go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about.
Defense.
They, of course, will decline the penalty and just take the yardage on the completion.
And this defense, they've got to be beyond frustrated at this point because even when they're grabbing and holding out there, they're still completing passes. If you grab someone, they shouldn't be able to catch it.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Under pressure, they got him again. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taken right around the 44. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Herbert powering up the middle.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40.
And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Herbert once more. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 105 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
Fields down to a knee here, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team privately within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And, of course, this is a win they're going to hang their hat on. They go on the road and defeat the defending Super Bowl champs.
Partner, they came, they saw, they conquered.
They conquered.
But before all that happened with the conquering part, they believed. They thought it all week. It was evident when we talked to them before the ball game that they thought they could get this done.